Good morning, beautiful people. So the video is titled Crime Pays because I wanted to kind of show you some ways that you could make a good living, have a great career in various jobs in law enforcement. So, it's been a while. I know some of the videos always start like this, and I hate to repeat it, but this time it has been a while. I've been busy teaching courses and lecturing and, consulting, etc. But I haven't forgot about you guys, my followers, my subscribers. Listen, this video is going to give you a different perspective on how crime pays. I'm going to explain to you some things that maybe you haven't learned, especially if you're thinking about a career in law enforcement, corrections, etc. So keep listening. The first thing that I will tell you is, let's just say there's a courthouse. In most cities, there's a courthouse downtown, in the middle of downtown, and there's all these businesses around the courthouse, and they all shop, they all make their living based on people that work at the courthouse, whether it's attorneys, whether it's witnesses, victims, suspects, going to court, judges, etc. And so a lot of those businesses would not survive had it not be for the courthouse being there at that location. And so if you all of a sudden were to take the courthouse and move it across the other side on the opposite end of the county, a lot of those businesses would fold because they just would not have the clients, the customers, the money-paying customers that they depend on every day to survive. So what about you? You're following my channel because I'm always giving you law enforcement advice on how can you benefit from this process. Let's just start here. I remember a few years ago, a sergeant told me that crime is always going to be around. So even when I work 25, 27, 30 years, even when I retire, I will not have, erased crime. Crime is going to happen. People are going to have disagreements. People are going to be tired of different things in their personal life, and usually that evolves into an argument, and the argument produces a police response. And so where there are jobs, like sales jobs, where you have to go find work, you have to find people who are willing to buy the product, crime is already here. And so crime produces various opportunities for you to be able to successfully have a great career, prosperous life, great salary, great pay, great benefits. And so you have to be thinking about this. I was talking about this in class the other day. If you're working for a company, you have to make so many phone calls. If you're working for a retail business, people come in, you have to kind of acknowledge them. Hello, thank you for coming in, that type of thing. And if you like retail, listen, not putting you down, I'm just saying maybe this is not the video for you, but if you want to work in a profession that is exciting, that is every day is different, that will pay you well, have great benefits, great retirement, overtime, you name it, paid vacations, you need to start thinking about working in law enforcement. So what's happening in California? I know that this is probably happening nationwide, but in California, there is a high shortage of police officers and deputy sheriffs and California High Patrol and correctional officers and attorneys, and you name it. There's a bunch of different people, the positions that are open right now. I find it interesting that the media is not even mentioning an ounce of this, right? I know an agency that's down 47 positions, and they just put out the announcement they received 7 applicants. 7 applicants for 47 jobs. The job starts out at $76,000 a year. The first year in that job of being a police officer, you will positively make over $100,000 your first year in overtime, court appearances, more overtime, etc., etc. So some of you are working retail jobs, making 30, 35, 37, 39,000, maybe 40,000 in a great year, but working in law enforcement, all of a sudden you start at 76,000. Some of these agencies are offering you sign-on bonuses. For example, not that I'm pushing military in this video, but some of you don't have a goal, don't know what you want to do with your life, you just graduated, And rather than stay at your little town, little city, hanging out with a lot of loser friends, you can join the military. And in San Diego, where I'm based, basically the Army is offering a sign-in bonus of $50,000 to sign in. Now, you don't get it all at once, you get it in stages, but just to sign up, you get $50,000. In law enforcement, that is exactly what's happening as well. There are officers now applying for these jobs, and what are they getting? They're getting sign-on bonuses, similar to professional athletes. When professional athletes have to, I'm gonna put some sunglasses here because the sun's coming up. I'm an early riser, so I'm driving east. Anyway, so these agencies are starting with great salaries, great pay. I was talking to one of my students. His brother's working at a large agency making $120,000 a year, and he just got transferred to a smaller department in the Bay Area, and he's going to be making roughly, with benefits and everything, 160 something thousand a year. I want you to be thinking about this. Some of you that are working part-time jobs that are wasting your valuable time working for somebody else, making somebody else richer. What if you could take some of my tips here and make yourself richer? What if you could have a nicer house, nicer car, better living conditions, money in the bank, money in savings accounts, etc., etc.? This is what I'm talking about when I say crime pays. I'm not talking about you going out there becoming a criminal. I'm talking about you coming to the realization that there is crime that exists today, will exist probably until the end of your life, and you can benefit from that opportunity by getting the right career. And this is another thing that I want to talk to you about. I don't want to sound like a preacher, but there are part-time jobs, and part-time jobs come and go, right? You work part-time for a person, maybe it turns into full-time, maybe you get 25% raise because if you're good, if you do this, you fold clothes correctly at a shopping store, whatever it is, you get a little tiny, throw you a bone, right? But there's a big difference between a part-time job, and a career, right? A career is nursing, teaching, working in law enforcement, an attorney, a judge, okay? Somebody as a prosecutor, somebody who works in various aspects of the district attorney's office, working for the state of California, etc. And so the huge difference is that your part-time job is going to give you a 401k. 401k is you contribute a little bit of money towards your retirement, and then your agency contributes a little bit of money towards your retirement, and we hope that the market does well and that 401k will grow, and then when you retire, you'll have enough money to live comfortably. Well, it turns out that in working for government, you need to look at agencies that offer Public Employee Retirement System, PERS, Public Employee Retirement System. PERS retirement is a defined benefit retirement. What does that mean? That means that depending on the number of years of service and the highest amount of money you make in the last 12 months of your full-time employment, you will get a set amount every month for the rest of your life, and every year, starting with the second year after you retire, you will get a 2% or higher COLA. COLA stands for cost of living allowance. And then so every year until you die, you will be getting a 2% on top of whatever you're retired at. So you retired at $70,000 a year. Say right now you have the years, you're making the money, you retire at $70,000 a year. Next year you're making 2% more. The next year you're making 2% more of that amount, and so forth, right? You have survivor benefits. Now, 401k, that's not the same, right? 401k is money invested into the marketplace, and depending on where the market is, right, how it's doing will depend how much money you make. And when the money that's in 401k expires, when the total money expires, right, because maybe they thought you were only going to live about 15 years, if you end up outliving that, because the chances are you will only have Social Security. You will only have Social Security. Talk to people who are elderly now, ask them how much money they're making on Social Security. They're making $1,600, $1,700, maybe. They start out, some of them are making $900 a month. If you were of retirement age right now and you only had to depend on Social Security, you would not be able to retire. And this is why you see a lot of people working, older people working jobs at Walmart, etc., because they basically have no way out. And this is what I'm telling you. I love you guys. You've been watching my channel. You know that I'm not messing around when I give you this information. You need to arm yourself with knowledge. You need to empower yourself to do something that you're going to benefit from, your family is going to benefit from, others are going to benefit from. You cannot simply be average. Average is okay, but average doesn't get you to the places that some people have gotten when they got careers. Average doesn't get you a nice home, doesn't get you a nice car, doesn't get you a great benefits package. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and I was talking to recently to a person who's working security at a community college, and he's making, let's just say he's making $3,300 a month, right? Most police officers are making $7,800 a month, $8,000 a month. And so this security officer working for this community college, he's in PERS retirement, public employee retirement system. So he's been putting in his years of service, and now he only has 2 or 3 years left of service. So what happens, think about this. I know I'm not trying to give you a math lesson, but I'm just sharing things that you need to know. I need to empower you to know these things. So what happens if this officer who's been working as a campus security officer, non-sworn, but it's a PERS position, decides to go through the police academy or renew his old police academy that he had, and then he gets hired at an agency making the $7,800 a month. All he has to do is work 12 months in that salary. Listen to this, 12 months in that salary. Now PERS is going to calculate his years of service, and he's going to look at his last 12 months of the highest salary he's ever worked. Just by going into law enforcement for 1 or 2 years, he's going to take his monthly income from $3,000 to $7,000 a month. You don't have to believe me. You need to check into this, right? You need to check into this. I certainly wish when I was younger, like some of you, that someone would have came and told me this. I definitely would have been putting more money into supplemental retirement, accounts. And so anyway, back to my initial point, because that's what I always do. As you know, I'm a college professor, and I need you to know, crime pays, and you could benefit from this by being the peace officer, the public servant, whatever it is job that you want to do. Before you take the job, and before I close this, find out what type of retirement system they have. State of California is a rich state. State of California, if it was its own country, it would be one of the top 5 nations in the entire world. Think about this for a second. I know some of you are listening to the media and they're bashing California. California is a beautiful state. California has some of the most amazing beaches in the world, especially like where I'm hanging out in San Diego. That place is like adult Disneyland. So yeah, you can get tired of the traffic, take side streets. Some of you want to work out of other states. In California, once you're off probation, you're off probation. It means that you have the union and you have people protecting your job in case you get in trouble. In other states, you're always on probation. So a new sheriff gets elected, he fires you because he wants to get a bunch of the people that he likes, he or she, into their department. So in California, we have the Bill of Rights, the Peace Officer Bill of Rights, which gives you rights. So once you basically get off probation, you have protections. Now, I can't close this video without saying one more thing, okay? I know you guys have been watching YouTube video and you've been watching all this other negative stuff. Every time somebody catches some police officer doing something bad, they put it on YouTube, and sadly, bad things, polarized things get more views than anything else. I want you to think about something. Those people posting those videos are making a lot of money posting those videos because YouTube is paying them for view time. And you obviously are a viewer because you're watching my video. Except with me, my channel is not monetized, and so I'm sharing this with you because I want you to benefit. I want you to benefit from my knowledge. One day I won't be around, I'll retire, I'll be, maybe I'll die, and you'll be able to still go on YouTube and listen to my knowledge videos. And so back to my point, you can be the one who sits there like a fucking sheep and watches these videos and gets, oh my God, I can't believe that officer did that. Or you can take the information from my video and you can become a public servant and you can go out there and serve the public and be the solution instead of the problem. Yes, that officer may need to get disciplined, may even need to get fired, terminated, or even criminally charged because of what they did. But it doesn't mean that every single officer out there is doing that. I know a lot of my friends are still in law enforcement. Those people go to work every day putting their life on the line to protect you and your family. And one day, maybe you want to be one of those peacekeepers. You want to be the public servant. So you can sit on the margins. You can work the part-time jobs. You can decide, you know what, I don't want to do it because I saw this video and it just shocked me. Oh my God, this officer was so mean to this person. Again, you're a sheep. Or you can take the knowledge and you can start finding some time to go to a Barnes & Noble bookstore, Barnes & Noble bookstore, go to the test section and start reviewing the test booklets on what it takes to be a correctional officer. What does it take to be an attorney? What does it take to be a police officer, highway patrol, border patrol? What does it take to have a career? And think about this. How wonderful it would be that every 2 weeks of your life, you get a paycheck automatically deposited into your account. That you don't have to go and sell stuff. Work comes to you. Law enforcement, because of crime, we have plenty of work for you. And so you're not going to get bored. You're not going to get, some days I talk to my students that became, retail. Now they're folding clothes at some stores. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, how many clothes are you going to fold before you get to a certain point and say, man, I wish I would have got my education. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have got a career. This part-time job is getting old. I'm tired of folding clothes. I'm tired of coming to work every day with a bunch of people who have no goals. And this is where I'm grateful that you're listening to this channel, that you're partaking in the information that I'm providing you. Now you just have to put it into action, right? I know some of you are going to watch this video and you're going to say, why is he driving and videotaping? Because you're a sheep, okay? You didn't watch the whole video, so you didn't get to this part. I'm not holding the phone. There's no law that says I can't videotape myself while I'm driving, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So instead of wasting time on the comments, putting on there, why is he driving? Why is he videotaping? Because he cares about your future. I just posted one thing on my Instagram. I know I keep telling you I'm going to end the video, but I will in just a second. I posted a thing on my Instagram, and it said, if your future you could write a letter to your present you, what would your future you tell you? It would tell you to stop wasting your time on part-time jobs. It would tell you to watch how much time you're spending on daily activities, and if those activities are going to be beneficial or harmful, right? Are they going to hinder or facilitate your future self, right? It would tell you to work on your college degree or career training early, right? You can go to a community college. Right now in California, community college classes are free. So you can go take community college criminal justice courses, and with those units, most agencies will allow you to apply to some jobs, right? Also, instead of part-time jobs, start getting into internships. Internships will help you get a future job in law enforcement. So anyway, I'm going to close this video. Please know that I love you guys. I would not make these videos if I didn't care about you guys and wanted to share my information. If you know someone who needs to hear this video, you need to forward this to them so they can kind of get some advice and stop wasting time on social media, on TikTok, on Snapchat, whatever it is that they're involved in. Even playing video games. I enjoy playing video games, but there has to be a limit, and you have to put more focus on yourself than you do at your part-time job. Thank you for listening, and be safe out there.